Never argue with a woman, or if you do, it must be very sporadic.
The battle between God and the devil. I feel like the devil's winning right now.
It's never a battle between God and the devil. That's what people learn in religions.
Do not argue with women, no matter how tasty the bait. As a man, if you don't focus on healing, you're not really ever going to have access to the best women.
98.6% of relationships fail. But so many men can turn a good woman bad.
That's how it always works. It doesn't mean that you should walk into it. So many energies are coming, gone. All it takes is one time for you to sleep with that one wrong person and it disturbs your energy.
Is LGBT a movement that's coming to our civilization through the devil?
Yeah, it is.
I was at my friend's house. This girl just comes over and she goes, I just come to you and leave. And I'm like, when did women get like this?
You see, women are a reflection of men. So when women say it's always a man's fault, it's true.
But beautiful house, by the way. Gorgeous house.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Dubai?
Well, we're moving to Dubai.
Sorry, how long have you been in Bali? I do this all the time, by the way.
3 years.
I refer to Bali as Dubai all the time, and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's in me?
Yeah, it's like you're talking to me in the future present. So yeah, I've been here for 3 years. I moved here from Barcelona.
Yeah.
So Barcelona was like home for like the last 15 years. It still is home. It's like European home. And I moved here after I got divorced. I thought it'd be a very good place for my son to go to school and also to work on what I'm doing now, which is Primal Law. I knew that Bali would be the place where I could focus on the spiritual aspects of life. And it would lead me to being where I am today, really.
Mhm.
You know, very different compared to how I was.
Before the divorce.
Yeah, very different.
I can imagine. What do you do to make money? How do you make money?
So Primal Law, really, I mentor wealthy young entrepreneurs across the world.
Okay.
And so it's a very good exchange. You know, they pay me to help them with their masculinity. I teach them how to date women, you know, and how to attract the right woman into their life. That's going to make a difference to their empire, you know. You need money plus a good woman. Money plus not very good woman, downfall. Yeah, and I've also been through that. So I'm also teaching men from my mistakes. Look out for this. Don't do this. Do this. You know? So,
But
my experience, I help others to basically stay on the straight line.
but so many men can turn a good woman bad.
Yeah, that's how it always works. But even so, it doesn't mean that you should walk into it. You should neither do it, nor should you accept it in your own life. Just because, you know?
You know, do you know who Mo Gaudat is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CEO of Google X, serious engineer, serious mathematician. And on a podcast I did with him, he said 98.6% of relationships fail. And he goes, you all believe it's 52% in the Western world, but that's not how you're supposed to do the numbers. Because don't forget, I'm a serious engineer. I know how to do math. How you're supposed to do the math is you're supposed to add you're supposed to include every years of relationship that you had. So for example, you had 1 5-year relationship, you had 1 3-year relationship. So you add 5 plus 3 plus whatever, divided by the amount of relationships you've had. That would give you the percentage, because all those are confirmed breakups. Then at the end, you're left with 1. Now that percentage, the last one you're left with, that one is a 52 or 53% chance of a divorce. But you're not supposed to just look at that one. You're supposed to include all of them from before and divide them with the amount of relationships there is. And if you do the maths over again, that will give you a 98.6% of a failed relationship, which means you've got 1.4% chance of a successful relationship, which is great news.
Yeah, I think it's also, he's right to a degree, but he's actually selling that to a Western audience. if that was very true, then that basically means that most of the world is under the influence of the dark side. I know it was about, rather than being under the influence of God, because God made it so that man and woman are supposed to be together. Man and woman are not together in a particular area of a country or in a particular culture. Some think is very, very wrong. But that's probably not the case in, I'd say, in Eastern countries or countries with Eastern values. They very much tend to stay together.
Well, you look at what they went through, World War II, 27 million Russians died in the World War II, men shortage, the men that were left were, most of them were alcoholics. So that, based on what they went through, of course, you can see how they are.
Yeah. But there's many cultures where they still pride themselves on old traditions. I was with one of my guys, shout out to Agan. He's from Albania. He lives in a complex with 60 of his relatives, right?
Wow.
Yeah, that's how they roll in Albania. A very powerful Albanian family. And for example, any of the females, right, who want to date someone, okay, the man basically getting vetted by at least a good 20 or 30 of them in the family.
Okay. Wow.
You know?
To make sure.
To make sure. And then once he's vetted, he allowed in the group to start dating. But obviously, because he's now been allowed in to start dating, he's probably going to follow through with it as well.
Mhm.
He can't be just sleeping with her and then, all right, I'm ducking out. There's a couple of male cousins that are watching his moves. See? And this is actually how it used to work within most cultures, So the men took dating more seriously. And if he wasn't really interested in the woman, he wouldn't go there. He wouldn't sleep with her. See? So therefore, he wouldn't actually, it wouldn't count as a conquest. You see? If he was to conquer the woman, that woman was going to lead towards being the mother of his children, his wife, and so on. It's the westernized concepts which are not right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we ended up here, but I mean, I see girls. I was at my friend's house, and this girl just comes over and she goes, "I just come to fuck you and leave." And I'm like, when did women get like this? It was never like this.
You see, a woman like that.
No, what comes first? Is the chicken or the egg? Did somebody corrupt her, or was she corrupted by society?
Yes, she's always corrupted by society. And you see, women are a reflection of men. So when women say it's always a man's fault, that's true. Because men come first. It's a physical world. And men rule the physical world. And the women are a reflection of us. So if you see a woman like that, basically what she's saying is that some man has caused her so much pain, right, that she wants to be in control. Right? She wants to be in control of her own pain. Because it's not natural for a woman just to want to fuck and leave. But men can do it, you see? And there's probably been enough men that have done it to her. And she didn't feel good about it. The men came over to stay the night and he was gone the next day. So for her to take control of that situation, she wants to do that because she doesn't feel that she has enough value for you to stay. So she'd rather say, hey, let me control the situation. So that if the man doesn't stay, it's okay. I control the situation. If he left, that's because I've already said up front he was going to leave. So I'm in control and I feel sick. Right? Now, for a lot of men, they might go, that sounds quite good. And easy lay, no strings attached. But the thing is, that woman contains a lot of pain, you see? And the moment you enter into a woman like that, you're going to be picking up a lot of her dark energy, containing all of that pain and suffering that she's been through. And then the man starts to take on that energy from her. That wasn't even his. This happens to a lot of us. You see? What looks easy is actually a sacrifice of your betterment.
Mm-hmm. You talked about dark energy before.
Mm.
There's a common perception that there's a lot of dark energy in Bali.
Yes.
There's a lot of spirits, very haunted.
Yes.
Is that true?
It is.
Why?
Bali is a very spiritual place. I mean, where Bali sits on the planet, it's like a vortex. And this vortex is like many different gods and spirits from all across the universe. They all come here to play and move energy. That's why, people look at the Balinese and go, well, why are they making these, they've got their temples and they're making offerings to various different gods. That's because all of these different gods, they come here. But also human beings are attracted to a place like this because the way the energy moves, you can find out a lot more about yourself here. You see, city energy is very consistent, it's consistent. It's good for business. Dubai, consistent energy. Fast moving, but it's consistent. Yeah. Bali, the wave energy can go up and down like this. You see, very highs and lows, zigzagging sometimes, But here, for example, it can be a real playground for a lot of people, right? Or you can really find the most beautiful people here, like pure energy, right? So I guess that's why I also came there. I came from Spain and I was like, right, because I wanted to move to Dubai before, right? Spain was paying a lot of taxes. I was like, right, Bali, Dubai. I thought, okay, if I go to Dubai, said, I'm not going to meet a good woman in Dubai. Too much transactional, and I knew it attracts women. I thought that's going to be a bit dangerous for myself. Well, okay, I'll go to Bali because if I'm working on myself spiritually, I'll be able to align myself with a spiritual, clean woman. It doesn't drink, it doesn't do drugs, it doesn't stay up late. It does the opposite of what I kind of met in Europe, especially in Spain. Spain's also a very party place too. But it could go the other way here too. Because of the energy, the sexual energy of the island is very, very high. A bit like Ibiza, right? So you get people coming here and you can have sex thrown in your face immediately, If you're unaware, you go, wow, this is amazing. Girls everywhere. You can literally sleep with a beautiful, hot woman every single night, right? But the sacrifice to that is that everyone who's actually doing that, it probably contains the energy of maybe 50 to 100 people. Because they're so open, they're open to so many energies, right? So many energies are coming, gone, coming, gone, coming, gone. All it takes is one time for you to sleep with that one wrong person and it disturbs your energy. It takes you off alignment.
Wow.
That's what it takes. And maybe if you're sitting there with 50 to 60 different energies, all different confused, all different types of pains, and they're not even your pain. You probably came to heal your pain, but now you've got all this other stuff on top of your own healing you want to do. And now you can't heal it because now you've got all this different confusion. And all you're going to attract is just more confused people that you don't even like. You don't really want that, especially as a man, because you want that pure energy. But the pure energy woman, because she lives with her senses, she can't even find you because you're going to be blocked with many other people's energies. You see, what happens here with a lot of people like that is they just keep meeting more and more people that like to do the one night stands, and it just compounds the confusing energy on top of each other until they get fed up with it. Because eventually they all do. And it might, people promote these things. Yeah, my life is so cool. But when they're at home at night and they realize that none of these people actually really like them, and they realize that they didn't actually really like themselves because they didn't respect their own body, that's when they're crying at sleep. That's when the demons are coming for them. And it's a lot of demons coming for them.
So you're telling me the one night stands corrupted Bali to bring bad spirits?
No, the the energy here is very balanced. You know, there's a lot of very good spirits here, but then you have a lot of dark spirits here, and they want to feed off negative energy. So it just depends on where you want to go. If you want to go in the positive energy and be love and commitment, so on, then that will enhance. But if you want to be in the negative energy, there's certain spirits that need to feed off that energy too. So they will encourage you to sleep around, you know, to get in that, you know, party every day, drink, girls, because they feed off that energy, you see.
So you're saying a man is on his path, he's on his alignment, he has sex with one wrong girl, and it throws him off balance.
Yes.
How does he recover?
For a sexual fast,
How long?
I'd say for at least 2 to 3 months. But that's even very difficult as well, you know, when the wrong woman throws your balance.
What about masturbating?
Masturbating, yes.
Even cut that out.
Yeah, you have to.
Wow. So holds semen retention for 2 months.
Yes, 2 to 3 months.
Got ya.
Retention.
Got ya.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's needed.
It's needed. Because I know a friend in Dubai that this happened to. He had sex with the wrong girl, and he said, I had to get the cleaners to come to the house the next day, change the sheets, get this negative energy out of this house.
He was very right to do so. If he felt it, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because you know when you've got a good woman in your house.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah. He just had the devil in his house.
Yeah, he probably did. You see. Yeah, he probably did.
So what does he do?
Um,
Semen retention for a couple of months.
Semen retention. He may have to do a couple of spiritual baths
Uh-huh.
as well. It's old African traditions where you sit in a bath full of salts and it kind of like takes out the toxins.
Got ya. What about go to the ocean? Go to the sea?
That also helps too. Yeah. You see, the thing is that you'd have to do this more than once, you know, it's work, you know,
Regular.
2-3 months of cleaning and for sure no sex, no masturbation. I would also say during that period, probably best not to drink because drinking is always the doorway. It's always the doorway to feeling sexual and horny.
Yeah.
You know? So the man will have to come back to having his own internal disciplines and he'll have to clean. But usually the thing is that when you sleep with the wrong type of woman, right? They usually carry what's called the Jezebel spirit. Okay. And these spirits are very sexual, right? So she's carrying a lot of this because maybe she's also been around many other men as well, out of pain. Okay. Once she passes on this Jezebel spirit to a man, he wants to have more sex. You see. This spirit is going around in a lot of different nations right now. This spirit passed around. The man now wants to have more sex. Wants to have one night stands. And because of that, now these negative energies can feed off these people, right? Keeps them in that constant, you know, having sex without no creation, having sex without no union, without no relationship. It's negative, you see? And the way it works on this planet is you either are creating life or death, right? So the moment a man is sleeping around with many different women, okay, not creating union, not bringing it together, that's negative. Yeah? So in that negative space, that's where the demons can come through. The man's actually allowing it to come through. He's requesting it to come through.
The battle between God and the devil, or what do you want to say, the angels and devils? I feel like the devil's winning right now.
In some ways, it's never a battle between God and the devil. That's what people learn in religions, but in the Masonic temples, that's not the case.
What is it?
No, I mean, it's not that. So this is Satan's realm. Right? This whole universe is Satan's realm. Satan is known as Saturn. Okay. Known as the Dark Lord of the universe. Like all royal families all come from Saturn, Satan. Satan wears a crown. It's got the ring around the head. All kings wear the ring around the head. And So Saturn's realm is the physical realm, okay? And so Saturn was basically sent out of heaven or banished from heaven to the lower realms because he questioned his father, which is God, right? So God's got his levels, right? His realms, which is oneness, right? Saturn's angel name was Lucifer, right? Or is Lucifer. And he questioned his father. He said, why? And God gave instruction. So God as a father, I said, well, look, if you don't want to follow the rules, leave the house. It's actually the same with what our father would do to us as well, if our father says, hey, I had to make sure you're home by midnight, we get home at 12:30. Your dad says, hey, if you don't want to follow the rules, you know where the door is, go make your own world. And eventually, what would we say? We go, yeah, I will. So it's the same relationship as within any family. So God said, okay, leave. And Lucifer said, okay, I'll leave. Right, so he left and he took some angels with him. That's why they were called fallen angels, because they fell out of heaven. They fell out of oneness. And then he wanted to create his own world, right? So this universe is his world. Whenever you see anything physical, anything that has a time construct on it, that is Saturn's world. His three names known as Kronos. And he created the world of duality, light and darkness. God's realm is light, oneness. Here, light and darkness. So we're all under Saturn, right? And the reason why he created duality is so he could learn the lesson of why he questioned his father. You see? So he formed the reflection, light, reflection of the shadows, right? To actually understand why. Why does God say this? Why does God say love? What's the opposite of love? Hate. Okay, let's create hate. Why does God say unity? What's the opposite of unity? Dismemberment, distraction. So he created this duality so that he could understand. And our souls came into this particular universe because we wanted to understand duality as well. So we can actually value light. Because obviously Saturn didn't value completely his father's word. So he created a world where he could learn how to value. So actually we're all under Saturn's rulership, really. And that's why you've probably heard about most of the world's elite going to satanic temples, because they actually understand what the deal is. Okay. But Saturn still works for his father, and he's still part of his father. Okay. And we are here to learn what is dark so we can appreciate what's good. And it keeps basically the whole world turning. So under the devil, yeah, pretty much so. But it's all leading to the greater good, because also, if humans are not following God, it's okay. The best will. But the rest of nature does follow under the instruction of God. So whatever doesn't follow God will disintegrate and pass away into the darkness. And what does follow God will lead more into the light. So in fact, the world being under the devil creates more diamonds, really. You see? And the ones who are kind of like, if they're kind of really led deeper into the darkness, they will, kind of disintegrate and pass away. So all that will be left really is the best of God. And so at the moment, the world is under
Coffees.
Yes.
Yeah. The world is under.
An immense test. Human beings are under immense test at the moment. to see who follows God and who doesn't. And I'll be honest with you,
Wow.
not following God is getting replaced by the AI machine. That's what nature's like. Hey, you human beings, if you don't buck up, if you don't become natural again, well, we don't really need you.
What's the AI machine? And which God? Any God?
Well, God allows all. He allows his sun to operate here. So this is Saturn's universe. So I'd say, yeah, Saturn brings in the AI machine because Saturn is really the father of this realm. And he's saying, okay, whoever doesn't want to follow my father's rules, okay, their ass gets tossed to the dark side. So if a man doesn't want to build a family, if he doesn't want to if he doesn't want to respect women, if he doesn't want to love women and children, what is the need for him? Why should he eat vegetables? Why should he eat steak, fish? Because all of those animals replicate, you see. So they're in alignment with God. The man is not replicating, he's creating death. So he's already in the dark. He's already in dark side energy. And he's out of balance. So a lot of people are putting their information into the AI machine, not knowing really that the AI machine is there to replace them. AI machine collecting information, so eventually can just take over and do that man's job.
Of course.
Yeah.
You sound like you've got an English accent.
Yes.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in England. Grew up in
London?
yeah, just outside of London.
Okay. So you talked about the world's elites
Yeah.
that have these satanic churches. Have you been inside the city of London?
Yes, I have.
And have you seen the Rothschild's office?
I've not been inside of there, but I know where you're getting to.
And you know the wall around the Rothschild office?
Yes.
And there's a church inside.
Yeah.
And they say that they used to do sacrilegious.
They do.
They do. And they used to, I don't know, kill babies and drink their bloods and things like this.
Maybe so, yes. Yeah.
I've been there. I've seen the church.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So there is truth to that.
There is some truth, yes. Yes, to these things.
And do these sacrilegious ceremonies still happen?
Yeah, they do it. The thing is, you don't have to do these types of things to have power. These are kind of also known as satanic lessons. These people also do not sit right at the top. They also do become like, once you take part in some of these rituals, in some ways, you will have lots of material power, but then you also become a bit of a slave towards, they become slaves to like even higher power.
Who's higher than the Rothschilds? Or people like the Rothschilds? The Black Rocks? Who's higher than that? I mean, people...
Yeah, Black Rock basically means Saturn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what it is. Black Rock, black hue, black physical hue. Saturnus. That's why they give it.
And there's nothing above that.
Not really, no. So yeah, they are very satanic. That's why they support the LGBT and so on.
Oh, wow. Because my question to you was, is LGBT a movement that's coming to our civilization through the devil?
Yeah, it is. Because basically what it shows you, I mean, it's unnatural. And this is why the thing is, no one can really argue with these things because everything that is natural replicates. Man and woman come together, replicates. Natural. Animals come together. Natural. LGBT is a sign of a family that has a lot of disintegration in it. Usually people that become LGBT is because behind closed doors, they see that mother and father hate each other. Absolutely hate each other. Now, most of us have not had perfect childhoods. But a lot of these people, they see hate in their homes. Hate, real hate. And then they look at their family and they go, you know what? I don't want to be anything like that. So then they don't become anything like that. And it stops the bloodline right there. So the promotion of LGBT is really going to affect people or families that have very weak structures. If the man in the house is not very strong and he's not loving his wife very strongly, and he's willing to accept these values into his household, it kills the bloodline right there and then. If willing to promote that to his kids, hey kids, don't worry, you can be wherever gender that you want. The man's just opened this darkness into his household. Okay? Bloodline stops right there. Finished.
But what about that kid that's born and is gay at 5 years old? So you don't think being gay is genetic?
It can happen. It can happen. But what I can say to you as a master of some of the shadows, a lot of people become gay from a very, very young age.
So it's rare for somebody at 30 years old to say I'm gay and it's flipped straight away at 30 and be gay.
Oh, they could have been hiding it for a long period of time. But usually I'd say it's down to sexual abuse at a very young age before they even knew. It happens to a lot of people.
Well, I'm trying to connect this to the devil. Does the devil get you before you're born or after you're born, or it can happen even in your 30s? Because if we say being gay or LGBTQ is a movement that's fueled by the devil, can does it get you before you're born or at a young age, or how does it work? Or there's no one answer?
I don't think there's any one answer to that.
But why is the human brain always trying to find one answer? Doesn't exist, does it?
The one answer is always God. You see, everything else is duality. You see, so yeah, we live in a dualistic world. So here, there's more than one answer.
Duality?
Here, there's always more than one answer. In the higher realms, there's only one answer, which is always God. Yeah. But here we have everything's kind of like double-sided. I'd say, yeah, for most gay people, it's you have very rare where people are genetically born that way.
Does that exist?
Yeah.
Genetically gay does exist.
Yeah, because maybe someone else in the family was gay or had gay tendencies. But it always starts from abuse. Always starts from abuse.
What if the mum, while she was pregnant, ate things that increased testosterone and the girl ended up being gay? She was very masculinized.
Oh, this happens too. I'd say this happens a lot now too, because a lot of the food is modified.
Yes.
Yeah, it's modified. So a lot of people can be unnatural due to eating very unnatural foods.
Yeah.
Genetically modified before birth, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that happens too.
Do you subscribe to a religion?
I believe in all of the religions because they actually give good grounding. Most people that are religious are best people. No,
I agree.
always the best people. Whenever you meet people and they don't believe in God, these are the worst people in the world. These are the people stab in the back, disappear with your money.
It's because they're not God-fearing.
It just means that they're lacking in values. You know, if someone says they don't believe in God, it usually means that the parents didn't believe in God. It just means that they're lacking in values. You have to take it at face value. You know, sometimes you want to try and find out for yourself, but you're only going to get your hat, you're going to get your ass burned. You know, I only am friends with people that believe in God. You know, like people that don't believe in God, it's risky for me. You know?
Can you protect yourself from bad spirits when you have sex with a girl by wearing a condom?
No.
Condoms are so the energy transfers through the eyes.
Condom is physical, energy spiritual. Spiritual energy bypass condom. Doesn't matter. It's not going to save. If you sleep with a woman and she's got a very, very high body count, she has a lot of trauma, a lot of pain in her system, it's going to transfer onto you.
Could you get that transfer without having sex as well? Simply from an intimate conversation?
No. No, you can have an intimate conversation with anybody, you know?
So what is that sex thing that opens up the window to transfer?
Sex is sacred. So the reason why it's sacred, God made it sacred, is because it's supposed to create new life, you know? So a man is supposed to care. He's supposed to care first because he comes first. Oh, I might as well explain it. Okay.
Explain that.
Reason why man comes first, okay? Because you know what? You have a lot of podcasts and debates. And these people, I was going to never say the word plebeians, but yes, they are plebeians. The people that debate these things are plebeians. Because they don't know any better. You see, man is not supposed to debate woman, right? Women know the score, but usually sometimes men don't know the score. This universe, okay, man comes first. He's number one. Woman is zero. It's binary numbers. It doesn't mean the woman is nothing. Her value is nothing. It means the zero represents the potential for anything. Creative energy, right? The man is structure. One is a penis, right? So God gave us a penis. Number one, stands up straight. That's why we say man is straight, right? When man is not straight, we say he's bent. Yeah? We say men talk to the point, straight to the point. We say women talk around in circles. Okay? Man has the greater value. Why? Because he's supposed to stand ahead of the woman. That's why he has a greater value. So in fact, we're supposed to care more about sex and who we put our number one in. Okay? We come first. Man is number one. So the man's supposed to care who he is putting his number one into. Even though we're very horny, right? We're supposed to also look at who we are putting our horny energy into. Because it's going to affect our world, and our world comes first. And women, regardless, whether they have a lot of demons or not, are always going to be looking out for a good number one. So we have to care the most. You know, but if we're sold, be liberal, have a great time. Once you've got some money, fuck all those bitches, as they do in all the rap songs. If we get sold that, we devalue ourselves. You know? And the more we devalue ourselves, now we're open to all kinds of temptations. We could be sold all kinds of things. But what I can say is the real elites, they understand this stuff. You see, and they don't partake in this stuff at all. They're just all families. They stick together. They sell this devaluation to everyone else.
Wow.
Yeah. Because if they sell the devaluation to everyone else, you can't catch up.
Yeah.
If you partake in this.
Is that why there's such a discrepancy between rich and poor?
Yeah. I mean, even more now, yeah. These families, they don't get divorced. Like,
So they want us distracted.
sorry?
They want us distracted.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's like a lesson. And that's why they're allowed to do it. See? These ones are, they all go to satanic temples. They don't all drink blood. Like the real highest ones don't drink blood. Rothschilds are the ones you know. They're not the highest. They're slaves to others. Yeah.
Wow.
Can I even say?
Please.
Okay.
Who is the highest?
Well, there are very ancient families here, you know, and they still all exist. I wouldn't say they're all friends in some ways, but they still are around. They just kind of are under the surface. All the old ancient African families, the Ethiopian, Sudanese, the ancient families of Italy, the ones that were related to Julius Caesar, Octavia, sorry. They're all still here. They're really underneath the surface. because they just want their kids to go down the road and it's an ice cream without any hassle. That's real wealth, you see. Yeah. Trillions, but then the kids, go to the shop and buy yourself an ice cream. Don't know who the kid is. You see? So they have freedom. But they really control them on other things behind the surface.
So even if you told me a name, we wouldn't even know the name. You could say Tabitha, and we wouldn't even know who you're talking about.
Some of the names you'd still probably know.
Like,
Medici's.
what do they own?
A lot of the world.
Italian?
Yeah. Yeah. These guys, they just be under the surface.
So what about Trump, Putin? Are these people just puppets?
I wouldn't call them puppets because they're powerful than me and you. But
for them.
But yeah, these are people on the surface. Whoever you see on the surface is not really powerful because they can always have their head cut off, you see. These old families, they learn the lesson that if you stay in the public eye too long, right? If you stay in the public eye too long, the public will come for your head. Right? It doesn't matter how good you are. People just get bored of you. See?
I think that's why the British monarchy has been able to stay, because they have the politicians that come and go while they remain.
Yes, yes.
But if they were to dibble into politics, like the Shah of Iran did, the Shah of Iran, he was into politics saying, no, I'm the ruler, I'm the king, and I rule it, and I run the country.
But then the people will come for your head eventually. You can't stay that popular for that long, you know?
Like they did.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
See? And that's the thing, you see. The Shah of Iran didn't understand how to master being in the shadows.
Yeah.
You see? So they came for him. He learned this lesson a bit too late.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why his family lost power.
So you know much about the Shah of Iran?
I know a little bit about it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you shouldn't have done that. You see, that was like a real major ego thing.
Well, with the recent war that happened in Iran, they made the Iranian government very weak, and they could have very easily caused a revolution in America. But they stopped. Even though the Shah of Iran's son is still alive and he put his hand up saying, I will come back and run the country and bring back democracy, Trump stopped. He said, no more. I think there's a reason why they need an enemy. They need somebody to point out and say, that's the bad guy.
Of course you do. There's no one's perfect. You always need someone else to go, hey, the bad guy's over there. It's not us. Of course. Why would they want another country to rise up and be better?
Well, I mean, you look at UAE, it's rising up and getting better, and everybody's embracing that. Nobody's trying to tear that down.
Yeah, I mean, that monarchy is very clean. You see, and it's very masculine, you know? That's why it's getting better, because it's ruled by man. You know, that's why it's safe, masculine energy. Yeah, very good rulership there too.
Very good. Would a woman make a good ruler?
Over men? No.
Marcus Aurelius wrote in his book, to be a good ruler, you must be a logical man. And to be logical, you must be a man.
Yes. Women by nature are emotional. You know? I mean, look, if you look at someone like Angela Merkel, not very attractive. She has a lot more masculine tendencies.
It is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. She has a lot more masculine tendencies. But I think, you know, for most men, they wouldn't want to be ruled by a woman because they know that she is emotional. And it's outside of the law of God as well. Like, the man is supposed to be ahead of the woman. Man is number one, woman is zero. He's the structural support. She leads against him.
What do you think of Andrew Tate?
I like Andrew Tate. He's good. I mean, he goes to very extravagant. He's got very extravagant viewpoints, but I know he does a lot of this for views. But he's a very centered person. He's a very centered person.
Sounds like you and him would align.
And a lot of things. Maybe not with the way he speaks about women. I think there's some pain there with the mother. But overall, he's been very good for men, because I do know a lot of men that followed him. Some of them would have been in the dumps, He came across with some very simple things, which is, there's no such thing as depression. You're just not going in the gym and lifting weights. And for men, we're simple. So if I go to the gym, I'm going to feel better. Yes. Okay. No, he's been very good for a lot of men. The only thing I would say is that he's good for helping men achieve everything in the material world. That's great, but spiritually, he might be limited. But no one's the best at everything. But in terms of that, like helping men achieve in the material world, pretty much out there.
Do you take the material world seriously?
Yes,
Why?
it's enjoyable.
But does it bring happiness?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It brings a lot of happiness. It's a balance, duality. I think that the real balance is being able to understand yourself spiritually and also enjoy the material aspects too. I lived very much in the material world too when I was in Spain. I lived a very rock star lifestyle, but I didn't develop myself a lot spiritually.
Do you believe in the evil eye?
From people, yes. Yes.
I mean, when you live like that, like a rock star, and you showboat it and in people's face, is that dangerous?
It can be. Yeah, it can be. If you don't know how to manage it. The thing is, best thing you can do is to expect it and transmute that energy anyway. Because it's still energy that you're receiving, even if it's negative. But you need to know how to transmute that energy. So if you're gonna showboat, you better keep showboating. You better keep dancing. As you're dancing, you're just transmuting that energy. But if you have a lot of evil eyes on you,
and you stop,
and you stop dancing, you get into a little
you'll sink.
You'll sink.
Wow.
That's how it works. In Africa, we call this juju, right? Juju only works on the same vibration. So if I send someone, I'm not saying that I would, I understand how this works. If I send someone a negative vibration, they have to be on that negative vibration to be able to receive it. Like as a negative vibration. If I send them a negative vibration and they're on a completely high vibration, they just transform the energy into something more, because they're already moving on a different frequency. So that's the way it works.
How do you recover from that? How do you recover if you stop dancing and you get depressed and you sink? How do you recover from that? Do you need to do something, or do you just go back to dancing and everything will be back to normal? How do you shake that evil eye off? Do you continue dancing?
Yeah.
Just get back on the dance floor. That's it.
Get back on the dance floor.
That's it.
Yeah, get moving.
So
it's like being that positive brain.
So if you feel the negative, a lot of people in Dubai go around saying, "Oh, I got hit with the evil eye. I got hit with the evil eye. Life was going good. This, that. Got hit with the evil eye." So when you get hit with the evil eye, and you stop dancing, and you go into depression, and you say, "Oh, the evil eye got me." To shake that off, get back on the dance floor and keep dancing.
Yeah, because it's all rhythm. You see in Africa, a lot of people don't understand these things. We might as well talk about it now. Okay. A lot of people view Africans as being very simple. Okay. Simple to the eye. But a lot of the things that we do are very complex. A lot of the dancing around the fire that you see, the frantic movements you see Africans do in tribes, a lot of that is to shake off negative energy, evil eye energy, and illnesses, you see? Because you see, in the Western world, you don't know about these things. That's why everyone's taking pills, and the pharmaceutical companies, they won't come to me for saying, I'm always protected, so I can speak about what I want. But when these people are dancing at such a high frequency, when you see them really dancing frantically, right? Uh, the negative energies, they can't stay with those frequencies. Impossible from just a dance, right? Cancers, impossible because of the dance. Rhythm, fast-paced rhythm. It's the faster you go, the more higher you are becoming in line with your spiritual energy. Spiritual energy is like higher than fire, it's like really hot, right? But you shake off a lot of things which are on the lower realms, right? So the devil can't get you because devil energy more heavier, darker, right? So if you spin your energy a lot faster, these energies can't really touch you. It can only touch you when you're really a bit inactive. So you can't even think your way out of some of these things. Sometimes you have to dance your way out of it and continuously dance. You can't think your way out. Dance, movement. Very, very fast. Very fast. So sometimes people look at these things, look at these Africans, they're so simple. It's a complex thing to understand.
Do we have guardian angels that were in our lineage of our family, watching over us, protecting us, pushing people away? Somebody said to me, rejection is God's protection.
In some ways, yes. I'd say it's mostly ancestors. We all have ancestors, and they are watching over us and guiding us. Yeah, that's true. And there are guardian angels also. Yeah, they watch over us and ensure that we stay in certain paths. Yeah, Agenda 2030. It is about the population of the planet being reduced. COVID was part of this as well. This is an order from Saturn. And the planet needs to stay in balance. The planet needs to pretty much stay in balance. So human beings are not the most important part of the entire mechanism. Everything is. We're just as important as the cow, as the plant, because we exchange our energy with it. So they need as much respect as we respect other human beings. Sometimes we forget these things. The tribes, they understand these things, right? And actually, a lot of the tribes you may see that you think are very simple. They have cosmic memory. They remember various different civilizations of God, from very low points to very, very high points in technology, and came crashing down. And so certain elites understand and are following certain orders to make sure that populations are kept in a moderate way, and especially in the West, because in the West, man likes his food in plastic, you see. He likes his food in plastic. He likes his food in a cardboard box, in a plastic container. And all of this creates more and more toxic waste, you see. And also, to feed man in the West, we need more industrialization, even of the land, right? So then the land also gets worse. This is what happens in America. Too much commercialization, right? Means that the land gets poisoned more and more. The American man is poisoned. That's why the American man, yap, 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 yap. Not saying all American guys, but a lot who don't eat organic food. Yap, 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 yap. Big guts, bloated. They all get sick. Bones very weak. But overall, that can't continue forever, can it? That's not leading anywhere. Just for a few people to make some money out of it. It's not leading anywhere. So in the Western world, people are going to be reduced. And that's why lots of individualism LGBT and gay philosophies are pretty much pushed out to see who buys that. And whoever buys that, probably their DNA line will be finished. But the man who is traditional, woman traditional, will find their way to be together. And then those DNA sequences will repopulate the planet in the future. Or even now. It's the same.
Survival of the fittest.
Exactly. It's always the game. It's always the game. Especially on this planet.
Mm.
And the jungle games, and we understand the jungle games the most, the jungle games are always changing. You see, because even if you see concrete buildings or tech, it's still a jungle.
Mm.
And the guys, or people like myself and my older, we understand the jungle at all times, regardless whoever it is. But it's always about survival of the fittest. Animals, plants.
And fitness doesn't mean physically fittest. We're getting to a point where we have to be mentally fittest.
It's not even that too. It's also about being spiritually conscious. There's a lot of mentally fit people. But maybe not so spiritually conscious, you see. Especially in places like Dubai. I wouldn't say Emiratis, no, they're very spiritually conscious, these ones.
Very.
These people are.
Very.
Yes, they understand the game very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they understand the game.
Great people.
Yes, yeah.
Welcoming people.
Yes, very much so.
You look at the racism that happens in London against Arabs, but there is zero racism against white people in the Middle East. Very welcoming people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they understand the game very well. And they protect their culture very well. Very family oriented.
Not only that, but their culture is very contagious to outsiders. White people come and they do Ramadan because they want to be part of the community.
Yeah, of course they do, because everyone's not family orientated anymore. So it's safe. There you go. You feel safe. It's welcoming because it's family based. You see? Welcome, brother. You see? And you go, oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather hear that, or just someone barging your shoulder on the tube in London?
Yeah.
Welcome, brother sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
When we talk about the Emiratis, it's only 10% of the population in Dubai or in the UAE.
Yes.
Most are expats. Now are you familiar with Dubai?
Yes.
As in the type of people that are there? The materialism that's there?
For sure.
The promiscuity that's there?
Of course, I know it very well.
Um,
not that well, but yes.
yeah, I know what you mean. There's so many options for women there. And I feel that when there's a lot of options for sexual mates, it's harder to settle down with one mate. And that is what I find in Dubai, where everyone is single. Everyone is single. I come from Australia, in Perth. And, you know, you find a girl, you don't know her. If she's got a husband or boyfriend, you can't really talk to her. You got to figure it out. But over in Dubai, you look at any girl and you can go talk to them because you just know everyone's single.
They're always looking out for something else better. See, that's the dark side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of materialism.
Yeah. So you said you're going to move to Dubai. When are you moving to Dubai?
In the new year.
And is it to combat this?
Yes. It's the greatest market.
Greatest market.
For me, this is the great challenge. Can I step into Dubai and change a lot of these men's lives and women's lives, and getting them to come back to the natural part of them, which is at the base of their DNA. The base of the DNA, okay, is primal law, right? Primal law, prime means first. It's the first laws of God, okay? Oneness, as we said, yeah, oneness, duality, okay? So this is a world where we're supposed to come back to oneness at the very, very beginning. Oneness, prime first, oneness. Bring man and woman back together again in oneness. Because until then, they're kind of lost. Man is lost by himself.
Yeah.
Because there's no legacy on his own.
So the spiritual, so the feminine is very, the feminine was made to be with the masculine and vice versa.
Of course. Always. Always.
What about a guy that was with a girl for 8 years, engaged, never cheated on her? She left him. She broke his heart. She cheated on him maybe. And he says, listen, Mike, I don't want to be with someone anymore. I went through it. I just like my time. I enjoy my space. I don't want to think about somebody else. Did she eat? Was she doing Saturday? My friends call me and say, hey, you know, we're doing this on Saturday. I don't have to ask for permission. I don't have to see if we're free or not free. I just want to think about myself and be selfish. And all my friends are telling me, you don't know how good you have it that you're single. I got to deal with this shit. What do you tell him?
Is this you speaking about?
Maybe.
Okay.
Could be.
Okay. I would say, especially after going through such a long period of time of commitment, for sure, one must take his time and recover himself and be in love with himself first. But then he also has to think about legacy. Yes, think about having a child that will be able to continue his great work that he's already been doing here on the planet. So it's a challenge he must overcome, because when you get better as a man, let's say, okay, you've gone through this heartbreak, you get better as a man, you know, you're going to attract women. You're still going to want to have sex. It's your man. And two things will happen. You'll either have sex with women who don't want anything from you, which I'm afraid to say, those women contain a lot of pain. Women that doesn't want anything from a man, she's already full of pain, right? A good woman should want something from a man if she really respects herself. So then the man's taking on more disrespect by entering her. The other hand is you will also attract really good women that want something from you, and you might damage them, see, rather than building them, who may not want to cheat on you. Be like, I want to serve this man, I want to have his kids, I want to make him dinner every day, I want to make sure his shirts are pressed, I want my man looking immaculate. You know? There's women out there like that. Sometimes we can damage them. I want to damage that one. She'd be like, oh, fuck. If he's that bad, like this man is a good man. If he is going to be this way, if he is not going to be that for me, what hope do I have? There's some women looking at us like this, you see? And so we have to understand this, you see?
Nothing breaks my heart more than a man ruining a woman.
Really?
Yeah. When you go to a park and you enjoy the park, you walk your dog. When you leave the park, do you set it on fire? Somebody else has to come and enjoy that park. So nothing breaks my heart because it's an innocent person. It's an innocent person, a naive person, and an open person with good intentions.
Yeah. Women have value. Men we build, you see? So,
I think women can also build on their value by working on themselves if they become more attractive, if they become more centered, more spiritual.
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I think we're getting to a point where women can also build on their value too.
They can. But it's important. I'd say it's very important to make sure that the woman, for example, has a good mother and father. You see, men, we can build ourselves out, maybe even having not a very good household at home. I mean, women can too, but it's more important, I'd say, for a woman. It's more important for a woman that she has a mother and father. You know, usually women that grow up without a father, it's a lot of trouble.
But it's not a perfect world.
It's not a perfect world, no. But It's not a perfect world.
I'm going to float something to you. This could be a dark thought. I prefer women that don't have a dad.
I know why. I've been there too. Because we can play hero.
Well, no, that, but you're the only man in her life. She's not going to say, I spoke to my dad last night and you should be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. You're the only man in her life. There's no other man that's saying, why is he talking to you like that?
You don't like it too much because you're not married to one. You see, you're still kind of single. And the reason why is because eventually the sexual energies between, right? It's if the woman without father doesn't heal this aspect of herself, the relation between you and her, eventually the sexual energy won't be matched. It's just the way it is because it become like father daughter. I've been there. I've done this relationship before as well. And if the woman really has to heal, and it can be very difficult, but there's ways a woman can do it, like where she can heal with her ancestral line, ancestral male line. But if you play father too long, right? Who wants to have sex with the father? Who wants to have sex with their daughter? You see? So what happens is that these women end up being very demanding from you because, let's say up to the age of 21, father wasn't there. And daughters want to be demanding, daddy, daddy, daddy. Normal, natural. Daddy, please, can I have ice cream? Daddy, can I have this dress? Daddy, can I have this bag? And it's like, of course, my daughter. Right? So when a good man comes into her life, she's like, I'm going to relax. Daddy, daddy, daddy. At the beginning, nice. Yes, of course. Of course. Of course. But then it's demanding. After a while, it becomes a bit draining. Because there's no space for you to, be this. You're like, father, we give up. Oh, this woman again. It's a headache. Because also you're teaching her, right? Because father didn't teach her, you see? And of course, the husband should teach his wife certain aspects, but not everything. When the gap is too large, you lose sexual interest in some ways, even with this type of woman. You see? And also, what happened with this type of woman as well is that she will also lose sexual interest with this man too, because it become more like father. And sometimes what happens with these women there, then they start looking out for other man. They're like, it's like father. But she can't escape this, you see? She can't escape this void of being fatherless. She can't ever escape it. It's the dark shadow that will exist with her until she faces up to it, does the spiritual work to connect with her. Her father's always actually within her. So there's a way she can connect with her father, grandfather, great-grandfather. But she's searching outside. Very difficult. I understand why you like it. And also...
like what? The women that
because,
don't have dads.
Yeah.
Because it's just less... I've seen both. And it's like, my dad told me this, my dad... So daddy's still always number one man in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And as a man who wants to marry you, I want to be the number one man in your life.
Right, okay. Are you talking about women from an Iranian background?
No. The women in particular I'm talking about is Russian.
Okay.
By the way, a lot of Russian women don't
if
have
they're
dads.
speaking about their father, I think that's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. And it does mean also that your kids will have a grandfather.
But it challenges your authority as the man of the house.
She shouldn't be putting her father's authority above yours, but are you actually or have you been in a relationship with this woman? Because
I'm talking about a woman that didn't have a father. For my personal, I was with, she didn't have a father.
Okay. But the woman you were speaking about,
and people warned
about her father.
And people warned me. Yeah. And I said, I like it because it's not like that.
Okay, but what about the women you've dated with a father?
I didn't have that. I've seen relationships like that.
Yeah, okay.
My friends.
Okay. Well, sorry to say, maybe your friends were not being as masculine as they should be.
I think so too.
And so the woman's reverting back to her father because father was a stronger figure.
Yeah.
So it just means that it's basically like a lesson for them to be a bit more of a stronger figure.
Yeah.
That's all it means.
Does polygamy work?
No,
Open relationships?
no.
No. Okay.
That's also soul too, and that's also very dark side energy too.
Uh-huh.
Okay? It may look easy on the surface, but now like we've discussed sexual currency a little bit. So when people are open, it means that they're open. Do you actually, I mean, in Dubai, do you open your door to everybody? Can anyone walk in your house?
No.
Well, that's basically what it means. Anyone can walk in the house. Now, if you're sleeping with, let's say, a group of people, and those group of people have slept with 100 people, let's say you're sleeping with 5 of them, and you're downloading like 500 bodies into your kingdom. That's disgusting. That's right. Yeah, it is what it is. Now you understand. It's disgusting. You see, these people just end up being very confused. You see, but each to their own. They let them live in their confusion. There's a way of doing it, though. Okay, there is a way of doing it.
There's a way of doing polygamy?
Okay, there's a way of doing it.
This works.
Okay, I'm not saying that this is for me, but I have royal blood and I have friends who are kings and princes and so on. Okay, so they understand the game as well of sexual currency. Let's say, for example, if you're a king of a Muslim kingdom, or any kingdom actually, the wife virgin, the woman clean, the queen is clean. Then they will have their other wives who are also clean. Anything outside of that, if they have a harem, it's like virgins. That's how it's always been done. All the Arabian kings, same harem of virgins, because it always kept the king's energy clean and they wouldn't take bad energy back to their queen, which will keep the stability of the kingdom in good stead. You see, because they understood it, if they took energy outside some dirty random woman on the street, it destroys his king energy. He's no longer king. The queen not going to feel him as other people won't feel his presence. You see? And the reason why people respect the king is his presence. Very high. It's an energy thing. That's why they don't mix with riffraff. You see? Blue bloods. Sleep with blue bloods. Yeah, energy. Consciousness as well, huh? Because if you take on the consciousness of, if let's say the woman been eating out of dustbins and you put your thing in there, you take in the consciousness of someone eating out of dustbins. It is what it is. Energy transfer. You know, so if you're going to do it, you're going to have virgins.
Wow.
Because it keeps your energy high. But then you have to have a set, but they must become obviously your wives. You see, so then you keep the energy strong between, and there's a boundary around you, but not like where it's open. Because if it's open, it's like, might as well leave your house open.
It's like in Islam where you're allowed to have 4 wives. It's like kind of like that, where you can, but the first wife has to choose, has to agree, and then you're allowed to bring another energy into the matrimony.
Yeah.
It's all above board rather than keeping it a secret.
So yeah, that's why, when a member of the Rothschild dies, you never see anything in the news about any of them fighting over a will, because they understand that fighting in court over money loses time. And that time, money can keep growing. And so they all have, they all just keep working. All of them. They all just work together. Everyone has. Why bother about money Everyone has.
There's a guy, the founder of Telegram, Pavlov?
Yes.
He has 103 kids. He went to a sperm bank and donated his semen, and he's kept track on all of them. And he's come out recently and said when he dies, his 17 billion net worth will be divided between all the kids, which is an average of 160 million per child.
Yes.
So that also tells me he can also the idea of the Rothschilds and all these people that we're talking about. Can also be penetrated, and people can work their ways into this. But if you think about in the future, when he does die and he's got 103 kids, probably more by then, with all net worth of 160 million, he's going to create a religion. He's going to create a dynasty.
Yes, he will. Yeah. And all of his kids will have his genetics. And so they'll probably be able to create a really good impact on the planet.
But that's the way to do it.
One way to do it, yes. I mean, not every man's going to be able to do that, but the way every man can do it is by having a good woman, having good ideals himself, a good woman, and having good children. And his children should be able to create a good impact on the planet. Even if he has one, his child should have a good impact on the planet, because it's the ideal of him and his good woman.
At that point, he becomes a king.
That's how it works in the jungle. See, that's why the lion is the king. You see? That's why we Africans, we always look at the jungle as a reflection of what man should do. The lion is king of the jungle because he has his pride. The pride is a reflection of the man's ideal. So he is lioness, elegant and strong. Woman, she knows how to hunt too, but in his presence, okay, she feels safe. He is the prime. And with her, he has his cubs, right? The cubs are a reflection of both. Okay, that's why the lion is king. And so whoever calls himself a king, he must have his pride. He must have his pride.
So Pavel knows the game. This is the game.
Yes, for sure he does. He has a very large pride. He's very proud of himself. He loves himself so much, you see? He really loves himself. He loves his ideals. Very much so. He's decided to spread his ideals.
So this is the fine line between loving yourself and not having an over-exaggerated ego or narcissist. That's different.
He's a narcissist too.
But isn't that evil? Isn't that dark energy?
There's a fine line, you see. But I'd say as a man that has achieved so much wealth like that, his kids, I mean, they're going to have a fair share of, they'll have a fair share of trauma because daddy can't be in all of their lives, that's for sure, you know? A bit like Elon Musk kids, they're going to have a fair share of trauma. But with the genetic information that they'll have and the financial backing that they'll have, they should do very good things.
Elon Musk is a tricky one because some of his kids are transgender. Some of them are gay.
Yeah, because behind closed doors, I mean, this is the other side about being a genius. A lot of these geniuses, come from very, very crazy backgrounds. Very crazy. And his mother and father, this one, yeah. I don't know if I want to, should I speak on Elon Musk?
I think you should. If you have something to say.
Yeah, the blood and all that we were speaking about earlier. Drinking blood and all of that. Yeah, mum and dad have done all that before, and he's done all that before. Yeah, he's done a lot of that before. He's in touch with a lot of different spirits from other parts of the universe as well. It's where he gets a lot of this information from.
So Elon Musk is in touch with different universes.
Yes, and he deals with a lot of he deals with a lot of different demonic agencies. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. And so,
So does Donald Trump.
no, not as much as Elon Musk.
Okay.
Donald Trump is actually here to do a lot of good and to rebalance things. Elon Musk is like the bad guy from the James Bond movie. He wants to better humanity under his own guise, which is fair enough anyway. I mean, everyone's here to play their own game. You know, we're all here to influence. So overall, I wouldn't say it's something that's totally bad, but there's got to be a limit to it. You know, because my main influence should always be God. You know, not another man. But if you want to use his Neuralink and things like that, then there goes your connection to God.
Wow.
Whoever built that Neuralink, that's your God. Yeah, once you start putting that stuff inside of your body, there you go. That's why they call it the mark of the beast, these things. Because you won't be able to elevate past being a beast. We're all beastie, by the way, but the spirit now enables us to elevate and connect and have the higher level of connection.
Yeah.
But with those things, you're not going to be able to connect higher. You're only going to be able to connect to whatever that machine wants you to connect to. But you decided to place that within you. So that's the games that some of these people are playing. They want to play God. And if you let them, they will. Everyone has a choice. So there's nothing bad, that's a great game to play. You know, we're all on the planet to make, different experiences and so on. But that's the game that Elon Musk, he's not interested in money. He's not interested in buying the biggest yacht. He's interested in, can he become a god here on the planet?
Have you seen the videos of him that it looks like he's on drugs?
He is.
He's on drugs.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Recreational drugs. He's not like possessed or anything.
No, he is. He literally, I think what a lot of people identify and they like about Elon Musk is he doesn't care. He's not trying to stand up straight and say, no. He really doesn't care. Like, he's just being himself. He's being himself. And he doesn't care. And when you're rich and powerful to that degree, there's not much anyone can do to stop you. So it's a reflection. It is, a lot of people may look at it and go, well, this is a really, this is quite bad that, Elon Musk has worked his way into the US government, that he's sitting there on recreational drugs and things like this. But in some ways, it's showing you that, you don't have to really care what other people think. You can still get to wherever you want to really go. And so I think that is still very inspirational.
Because of his financial means?
The fact that he is not behaving prim and proper and he still gets what he wants. I mean, anyone else, the amount of things he said and he's changed the markets. If it was anybody else, they'd get investigated by the SEC. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He says what he wants to say. And he does what he really wants to do. Which I think is good. It's a good thing in some ways. But he may not. The thing is that I think with anybody is that you can't look up to anyone really fully and follow them fully. You know, like to Andrew Tate, there's a degree, right? I want to learn about materialism and keeping myself in good shape and being like a warrior and edge. Andrew Tate. Family wise, I wouldn't look to him for that. Okay, but I don't have to lose my respect for the man. I respect him because he's great at this thing. I respect him fully. I love him for this. I love Elon Musk for being so way, freedom, and being an intellectual, being an inventor. Family wise, probably not so much. No. But I don't have to hate the man because he's not good at that. I love him for what he's good at. Okay. Same with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, no. You know how to go for what he wants, you know? He's not an intellectual, but who cares? But you know how to go for what he wants. And you'll get to it. You know? So one should admire the man for that. But overall, probably not. But then why look at him overall? Why am I looking to a man overall? I should look to God overall. And then I can still respect every man, you see? But not expect every man to just have this perfection. You'd be looking forever.
Do you party? Alcohol, nightclub?
Not so much. No. Not. I mean, I was in Spain for the last 2 weeks. I went for a friend's wedding, actually. I helped him and his wife. And it was nice to see them full circle. Like I did I was the master of ceremonies to open the wedding. So these are the parties I like, you know. Birthday parties for sure. Sometimes we have dinner parties at home.
Something to celebrate.
30 people around. Yeah, these are good. Nightclubs, not so much. No.
Same. I feel like it's very low frequency.
Yeah, but if you're 20 years old, you want to enjoy that stuff too.
Of course, when you're 20, you're finding your feet, you're getting into the world, you know.
Yeah,
but
but you're making good money and you're young and you know, you get to the club, you've got the table, you know, you've got, 10, 20 girls around the table. As a young man, you can enjoy that stuff, you know. But I think, yeah, if you're still doing that same stuff after like 10 years, it's kind of like you've not really developed.
correct.
Yeah. Certainly not going to find your wife there.
No,
Yeah.
no, definitely not gonna find your wife there. Should a man ever cry in front of his woman?
Yes. Specific times. You see, if a member of the family dies or a friend dies, someone close, a man should shed a tear, you know? Maybe you should shed a tear on his wedding day too, and the birth of his children. There could be some odd times where the man might be going through something in his life and you might shed a tear, but it must be something very poignant. But if he's shedding a tear too often over trivial things, trivial matters, not very good. You shouldn't shed a tear over trivial matters of all. Because then if he's shedding a tear over something trivial, it's not going to be very safe for the woman. You see.
You famously said never argue with your woman. But what if she's dead wrong? Do you still stay silent?
No. Usually if you have a good woman and if she's dead wrong, you have to kind of wait for her to quell her emotions. Once she's in the mix of it, as I said, she's a zero. She goes round and around the surface. Now, if you get caught up in that, it's number one, right? Number one stands up straight. But if he matches her energy, you get caught up in going around and around in circles, which means that you use your structure. Now it's 2 circles. Now she's going to view you in your feminine energy. Now the argument's going to get really bad, right? Because now you're not staying as number one. That's why you don't argue the war. No, you want to keep your structure. You understand that when a woman is in that zone, you can't match her, right? She is by nature can go around and around in circles. So so if you mention your point once and she doesn't get it, let her argue with herself. You know, she will understand what you're doing. And to get your attention again, what does she need to do? She can't come back to the argument. She can't beat you there. The only way to get your attention again is to come back to you and say, hey, maybe you were right. Because now you can look at it again. You know, maybe you were right about this. Maybe you had a point. Like, and turn your attention to the subject again. Oh, you finally see it. I'm glad you were able to see it by yourself. You see, you give it the time and space to come around to it because you didn't argue with one.
So you don't cause resentment.
Huh?
So you don't cause resentment when she's in that cloud of emotion.
Yeah. Give her the time and let her come back round to it herself. Let's keep your peace. You keep your structure. You still stand up tall. And she'll always respect you because you actually understand who she is. And this is the point. A lot of people don't understand this stuff, but the base of mankind, man is number one, woman is zero. If man thinks he's not more valuable than the woman, then he'll treat himself so, and he'll enter into argument. The reason why man is more valuable is because he is the example. That's all. He is the structure. He is what's to be lent against. So if he's entering into the argument with woman, there's no one to lean on. Right? So the whole family or structure of the universe would go kaput, you see. And in this whole entire universe, it does rely on God. God is a man. God is what holds up the universe. Otherwise, everything would get sucked into a black hole, you see. That's man structure holding it up. The space that you see, the dark space that you see outside, that is feminine energy. That is the pure potential to create everything. Okay? And then you have the solar systems, right? The planet's all spinning with a central masculine structure and feminine energy around it. But it's the man's energy that always comes first. That's why we say God is a he. God came first, and then it's feminine energy.
Can a woman respect you if she can destabilize a man's emotion?
Oh, they all will at some stage, but you have to just get it back, you know. Not going to say you're going to be perfect, you know. A woman will tempt you, and she'll catch you on something eventually, you know. But the key is to go back to structure as soon as you possibly can. But if you're arguing too much with the woman, she's going to lose respect just by nature. And some men, the thing is, the reason why a lot of relationships in the West don't work is because the men don't actually understand this. They're bringing their level down to meet the woman on her level, right? And that doesn't work long term. He has to keep his level high as example. I'm not going to argue with you. I'll tell you my point. I'm not going to get into an argument with you right now, dear. Maybe the best thing to do is that I leave the situation and you have time to think about it. But also, dear, maybe you're right. You know, if you believe so strongly about this and you want to go around and say, well, maybe you are right. Okay? Because also, what we do understand is that the world is dualistic. So she's probably looking at things from her perspective, right? And her perspective is feminine, right? It may not be as logical as ours. So she may be looking at things from a more emotional perspective that maybe we can't see. So we must also look towards that and say, yeah, maybe you're right. Give her that validation. Even though in our eyes, she could be fully wrong. But give her that validation. let her come round to let her come round, because when she can't argue with you anymore, okay, the only way she can reach you is also by agreeing with you. So she'll have to see your point, because if she can't see your points, you're just not going to give her the attention. You're not going to give her the time of day. You see? So she'll have to sit and think about, oh, okay, maybe Redden has a point, because I want to have his attention. And if I keep coming to him, this side of the story, I won't get his attention. Okay. If I come from this angle, the logical side, which is I know how he thinks, I can connect with him again. And then she'll come back, tell him, maybe Redden, you were right on this angle.
Don't you think, though, when a woman sees emotional weakness in a man, it's almost in a way, it can't be unseen? The damage is done?
No, that's not true. We all have emotional weakness. We all have it. You see? We all have it. And the thing is, even as you may be, you might be the most stoic man, but a woman that's close to you, she can read you at all times. She will always know. Yeah, she'll always know. She'll always be able to see it.
Why do you think schools don't teach men or boys how to lead women, but society expects you to do that? Like, society kind of expects you to know.
The reason why schools don't teach is because they're not funded to, because whoever's funding the educational systems now, they don't want everyone to survive. They don't want everyone to repopulate the planet, because, of course, if men are taught how to be men, the women are going to be more attracted to them. The women are going to want to have their babies. And right now, in the West, there's a lot of women that don't want to have men's babies. That's why the population, most of these Western countries are going down. Facts, it is what it is.
Is modern monogamy designed to demasculinate men?
Modern.
Let me ask that again. Is modern monogamy designed to emasculate men? To emasculate men?
Okay. Modern.
Happy wife, happy life. Like modern monogamy.
Yes, it is.
To keep the wife happy at all costs.
Yeah. That does emasculate. Because again, man is number one. So if he's not happy, she's not happy anyway.
True.
Yeah.
If a man's not happy in a relationship, the woman is equally as unhappy. But men have more tolerance. They kind of push through. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Women are so quick to go, I'm done. Which I love that women do that. Because if they didn't, the man would stay in an unhappy relationship forever.
Yeah, that's the thing. That means it doesn't. It's not beneficial for men, then, is it? It's not beneficial. The thing is, you know why that happens?
Why?
Okay. So, even though man is number one, woman is zero, the man is the controller of the physical realm. Okay. So that's why we know we don't fight with women. If we fight with a woman, we could kill a woman, right? So we don't do it. We know that we're obviously we're a lot stronger than a woman.
Can a woman ever fully submit to a man she doesn't fear losing?
I think basing relationships based on having a fear of losing is not very good. I think so many people try to do this to the other person, and it's so much mental headache, no peace there. You see, that's not peaceful. And so most people would rather do without. Eventually, you see, it doesn't work. People get exhausted of that. Has to be some level of peace. the person going to be there, and the person that they're going to be there as well.
Security.
Yeah, but a lot of us would be like, well, if you don't treat me right, I got 10 other people. Well, it's like, go then, innit?
Admit.
Because relationships are ups and downs. But if it's gonna always be on this, if there's always gonna be this tension that you make one mistake, I'm out. You make one mistake, I've got 5 others there in my DMs. Who wants to live like that? Really? A man should never accept that from a woman. And a woman shouldn't accept that from a man either.
I've got a girl that always says to me, you need to start taking me seriously. Do you know how many guys message me every day? And I don't reply to them. I want to be with you, but you're not taking me seriously. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. She shouldn't even say that to you.
You're toxic.
She also doesn't know better.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, for her to actually come out and she's also being very honest too.
Yeah.
All women, generally, if they're single, they have other men that are trying to get with them.
Yeah.
But the fact that you don't take her too seriously means it's not the right woman for you, really, as well. If she has to even say that. Because yeah, I mean, can't imagine that being the base of you building a family with a woman. Like that was like the part of your love story.
But what if you don't want a family? Is that okay? Well, not want a family ever, but not want a family right now. Is that okay? Do you think a man that is not seeking the one to settle down with is a broken man? A man can go through not wanting to be with someone.
I'd say there's certain parts of him that are a bit broken. Yeah. Because it's in the very nature. And I'd say that like if I could say very clearly, there's going to be parts of you that will be very hurt. You see, that's the only reason why.
Mm.
It's parts of you that hurt, and you don't want to go through that hurt or pain again. And obviously, since you've been single, everything good, and you keep the woman at a distance, and therefore you get to enjoy the feminine energy without really bringing it in too close, because from your own experience, you understood that if you let them into your heart, because us men, when we love, we really love.
Yeah.
And you're a man full of love. I see who you are.
Yeah.
You have a big heart. If you let that woman in, you're going to get everything, right? But then if you pull that rug underneath, you're going to be like, oh, fuck life. And you don't want to do that. So I understand. But it's a challenge because God gave you such a big heart. You deserve a really good woman. A good woman's going to be attracted to you, right? That's the point. And you can build a beautiful family. A good-looking man, big heart, gorgeous woman. Your children will be blessed beyond. So I think it's something to really overcome, because you have to trust and believe in love and believe in God. God will give you a good woman that is willing to submit to you and be there for you and create your ideals, in your children.
Would you rather be in a relationship where you love her more or she loves you more?
I think it's the same. But women generally, they're gonna be like, I mean, men were logical, but I love my woman. But women are gonna be like, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. They'll be like that every day. If it's not like that, and the man has to say more, that's problems.
It's problems.
But overall, the man does love more because he's taking care, like provide home and making sure the security for the family. Everyone thinks that women love more. But it's actually we love more. You see, we love more. We actually really do.
Mhm.
You know. But so it's a big responsibility for man
Yeah.
to really give his heart.
I've got friends going through a breakup and they are like, women are treacherous. You can't.
Australian man.
This is an Australian man that I'm referring to.
Big problems in Australia.
Why? The women are very masculine in Australia.
Yes.
Why?
Australia, you see, the thing is with Australia, right? Australia, it's Australia is like a testing ground for a lot of these new ideals when it comes to LGBT, gay rights, and everything. Yeah, everything's thrown at Australia first. Everything, I'm telling you. COVID vaccines, lockdown. You want to put at the harshest things? Australia.
We're the guinea pig.
You're guinea pigs for everything. Yeah, basically. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole of Australia is basically an experiment.
Yeah, it is. You want to see how things are gonna go? You throw it at Australia first. And
So you're not going to find love in Australia.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm saying it's very difficult because yes, the women are very tough. Women are very tough.
But there's still better valued women than girls in Dubai.
I mean,
Because women in Dubai is what's the most I can get from you in the shortest amount of time.
you know what I think, Redden? Okay, I'm gonna cut to the chase. You know, look,
Cut to the chase.
you know what I teach men is you have to understand your jungle. You
Microphone's over there.
you really have to understand the jungle that you're operating in. I would say that neither of those jungles, whether it's Dubai or Australia, is really fertile ground for having a wife.
Wow. Big statement.
It is a big statement. Why fight against? Why fight? If you see it's tough, it means it's tough. On the other aspect, what it's telling you is that maybe you're supposed to maybe look well outside in other parts of the world to increase the genetic information in your bloodline. So sometimes when areas are very tough, it's a signal you're not supposed to be looking there. Right? Don't be lazy. The world is your oyster. Right? So too many people are fighting and they're complaining. It's like, because go where it's easier. You know, I say to a lot of my guys.
Where's easier though? Is Bali easier?
Could be, yes.
Is Italy easier?
It might be easier than Dubai.
Definitely easier than Dubai. Dubai is the hardest, I would say, in the world.
Of course it is because
There's wealthy men. And when there's wealthy men, it attracts women that want wealthy men. Wicked men attract wicked women.
but it's not even that because the men aren't marrying the women.
No.
You see? So they
No.
ruined.
Correct.
You see? Like if the women arrive in Dubai, right?
They rule straight away.
Then the men treat this, and this. And the man doesn't marry her. The woman's already ruined.
Ruined.
I'm being honest.
I know. I've seen it.
It's already ruined because now she see everything.
Mm-hmm.
So now you come along. What are you gonna give her that's gonna excite her?
Nothing. She was not used to that. I had this. She felt pregnant and she didn't want to keep it. And she said, I was never going to be with you. And listen, I'm from Australia. And for Australia, for where I grew up, I would be deemed as you've done well, right? You're a successful guy. You've got these businesses and they're doing well, right? But in Dubai, nobody ever feels like they're doing well, right? There's 26-year-olds that are personal friends of mine that make crazy amount of money. And she was dating a royal from Qatar. And she would just tell me the stories and this and that. But we fell in love. And she said, no, I'm not keeping the baby. And it's because I was never going to be with you. You're not rich enough for me. And I said, well, who is rich enough then? Like, you're used to the royal family of Qatar. How can you ever find that? Like,
but then you know what? That was your mistake because did you know about this story before she got pregnant?
Yeah. Well, yes, before she got pregnant. But that was an accident.
Okay. But did you know it before you allowed yourself to fall in love with her?
Yes.
Well, then that's your fault.
But love's a beautiful thing.
I know it is, but you have to understand that. Okay, yeah.
Love's a slippery slope.
Okay, yes, but she dated a Qatari sheikh.
She was beautiful.
Yes, I know, but it's already, but you're setting yourself up for.
I wasn't disciplined. I let my emotions take over and I went down the road.
So it's not her fault, it's your fault, because
Correct. It's all my fault.
Yeah.
I agree.
you can't impress her. Now, if you take another woman and she's a beautiful, good education, and with your wealth, okay, she can appreciate you. So the way it works in universe is all math, okay? The woman, she can appreciate the man because, say, if man is older than her, right? So usually we like younger women, okay? Women like the older man, why? He has a lot more experience, and with experience, he's going to have a certain level of wealth, okay? So she's going to be attracted to that. And we are attracted to women that are younger with less experience, or really no experience, okay? If the woman, if she's already had a lot of experience, it's very difficult for her to appreciate you and your experience, right? You're asking for something she can't give you. She's already been experienced, right? She has too much experience, so she can't, right? If you take a woman, she's young, and she's never really traveled the world, good education, brought up nicely from her family, good values, believes in God and everything, and then you show her life. You are the one that's introduced her to a wealthier lifestyle. Now you are the frame of all of that. It's Radin done this to me. Radin took me to Mykonos. Radin took me to this restaurant. Radin bought me this dress. Radin. You see? That's the frame. If too many other men have shown her the frame, she can't say Radin, which means difficult. That's why the jumble in Dubai are not very good, because the men don't marry these women. The women are already ruined, I'm afraid to say.
It's a sea of broken women.
Yeah.
And it's very sad. Women, I get close to and I have conversations with, they tell me the things that just make me so sad. They hurt my heart. They like to go to clubs and they like to dress up really nice. And they want guys to go up to them, but they can't wait to reject them. I love being that bitch. I love being that girl in the club where everyone looks at me and I just have a bitch face on. That's not nice. That's not.
The some do it to them, though.
Yeah. Because somebody did that to them.
Someone done it to them first. They're not like that naturally. Someone done it to them. Someone tossed them out.
Of course.
Yeah.
Um.
So that's the other side, but it shows you that men are supposed to be the example. But I would say in Dubai, it's definitely not the best place to find a wife. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to look outside. So if you like a beautiful woman, you're going to have to go to where they come from.
Yeah.
Go to the villages. I'd say mostly in Eastern Europe, in Africa, Kenya, Uganda. That's where all the models come from. All the models, they come from these places. So you need to catch them before they turn up in the West.
Yeah.
Siberia for sure.
But it's getting worse. This is growing like a cancer. It's getting harder and harder to find genuine love.
No, I think it's because the guys don't know where to look.
Well, of course, it's the pond you're fishing in.
It's the pond you're fishing in. And there's some clean.
Of course, it's clean ponds.
The planet will always have clean ponds. Okay, you just need to know where to go and find them, and that's it. So, what I teach my men primal law. With primal law, anyway, they're going to start to attract the right types of women. But then they'll also understand what to do as well, or where to go. So you learn the law, you learn how to clean yourself, right? You learn how the relationship between masculine and feminine energies works. You'll be able to keep the relationship. But then you just go to the right jungles and you'll get it. And you'll have beautiful women willing to submit to you.
Mm.
I've got it. All my guys have got it, and they're not getting it in places like Australia and Dubai. That's for sure. You're asking for trouble. You're asking it from women who have already been conditioned with so many other men's programs. They can't. It doesn't matter whatever they say. They can't get onto your program. They've had too many other programs ahead of them. it's basically biochemical.
I get it.
Well, yeah. Once too many men have been through they have so many other programs sitting on top of their original program. Your program can't go through. So you need to go to places where the women are very traditional and they haven't really been touched.
Mhm.
You know, and then you bring her back to Dubai. Once it's
That's a minority.
Hmm?
Those type of women are a minority.
yeah, but no, but in the towns where they're from, they're a majority.
Yes, correct. Of course.
All they are.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. God, I'd rather go
That
there.
are protected.
Ukraine,
Yeah, I'd say, but you have to go there.
Poland,
You have to go there. You have to go there.
when I'm ready.
Yeah, go there
When I'm ready.
and just stand still and watch how they flock.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you're going to be like, wow. But, you know, Dubai will desensitize you to the way relationships are supposed to be.
Mhm. Yeah.
A woman really is not supposed to, like the woman you just spoke about, if she knows that you're not going to be her husband, she's not supposed to sleep with you either, you know. You know, she's not supposed to sleep with you.
I knew why she was with me. She just was with me for the benefits. Shelter.
Yeah, and you care. You're very caring.
She moved in.
Yeah.
You know.
The man, maybe you're going to be more ruthless with her.
Mhm.
You're not going to be so ruthless. You're going to be more caring, more considerate.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
But then also, yeah, you're not supposed to when you see these, and I've kind of been in these situations where I've seen these kind of women and I've been very attracted to these women before in the past. But I wouldn't even go there sexually because I know if once I get roped in.
Yeah. Yeah. But you need to go down to realize that.
Yeah.
You go,
And this is the thing. This is where you start to understand the game because it's our ego. We want to conquer. Oh, it's beautiful. I want it. You know, as man, that's what we want to do. Well, we have to also understand that we can't. To conquer everything is not going to be good for us.
No.
To try and conquer it's not going to be good. You know.
in Islam, it says a man that wakes up in the morning and he has shelter at night and food for the day is better than conquering the entire world.
Yes, there's more. Well, it depends. Yes. Because that's
You know,
the base of life. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you looked into Buddha and his principles?
A little bit.
So he's part of the royal family of Nepal, and there's a famous story where he gave away all his crowns and jewels for slippers. And he wrote the 5 fundamentals because he said, well, as a poor man, I'm not happy, and as a rich man, I was not happy. So his fundamentals were, the number 1 was life is suffering. Number 2 is suffering is caused by desires and wants.
Yeah.
And number 3 is suffering can stop if you remove the desires and wants. So if you remove the desire of having these things that you have in your head, tomorrow you want to set up a successful agency in ABC country, wherever.
Yeah.
But if you don't reach it, you're not happy or whatever, the targets you set for yourself. But if you remove these wants and desires, suffering will stop.
That's actually true.
But at the same time,
But we want to suffer because that's where we grow.
you know, they say, don't stress. Stress kills. You know what kills quicker than stress? Boredom. Stress will keep you alive. Look at all these people. There's a mechanic in my city in Perth, and he's like 86 years old. And I'm like, why are you not retiring? He goes, every person that's ever worked here that's retired has died within 6 months. We've touched oil all our lives. We've got oil in our blood.
Yeah.
If I sit
manly.
if I sit at home and I stop moving, I'm going to die like everyone else.
Right. Yeah, he's right.
So,
Yeah, retire to what?
yeah, correct.
To what?
Yeah.
You know?
So I guess, yeah, it's part of life really to have the stress and with the wants and desires.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And I think, but yeah, we should. I don't think we should desire women with too much experience. It's an ego thing.
It's an ego thing.
Yeah, that's all it is. The other one's had it, that's what I want.
Well, it's not only that the other men want her I remember once we went home from a club and my friend picked up this girl, and I had a girlfriend at the time, and I was with her, but I told him in his ear, I said, that girl's very pretty. And he picked her up and he took her home. We're in the taxi, we had a big van, and he said, I only picked her up because you wanted her. So it's not that he wants her. He wants her because there's another man that wants her.
I don't think that's even healthy too.
Of course not. But it's ego. It's fulfilling his ego. It's my best friend. He's fulfilling his ego.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Which I understand.
Okay.
Because I mean,
Dangerous though.
why? I mean, of course.
I wouldn't want him to view your wife like that eventually.
Not with her anymore, but yeah.
Mm.
But I think it was more showing off to me that it's the girl that you want, that you thought was pretty.
Yeah.
We had a laugh about it at the time.
Yeah. But you didn't really want her.
No, I said, look at her.
They said she was pretty.
We had a bit of a situation. We're like, what about her? Nah. What about her? Nah. And I was like, that one's really pretty.
Mm.
Like, and my girlfriend at the time was like, why don't you go talk to her? And we're just kind of pushing him. We're egging him on. I'm not really a party. I don't really drink. I don't really like partying. I think it's really low frequency for me, and I don't have fun. So we kind of go out and try to make a game.
Is your friend married now?
He's engaged.
He's engaged.
She's engaged.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have to get you done then, really?
Well, I mean, look, it's not hard to get it done if I wanted to get it done.
No, for sure, but the right one. It's the right one for you.
Luckily, you know what I always say? Luckily, the right one is not in the pond that I'm fishing, because I'm trying to prolong the right one as long as possible. Because I know how I get when the right one comes, everything stops.
Yeah, but also you see, like, the way it works is like this. The longer you prolong it, it also compounds that you're probably not going to want it.
Correct.
You know, because
How is there a time on that? Because I've been single for 3 years, but I've been healing for 1 year, and I've really been having fun 2 years.
yeah.
For 1 year, I did nothing.
How old are you now?
35.
35.
Do I have time?
Not that long. I'd say at least before. Yeah,
Before 40?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because what I found is, okay, so most of the guys who come to me to do the work are quite young. I'd say between, some are as young as 16. I've got young 16-year-old crypto multimillionaires. He's actually Iranian too. Yeah. He
Lives in Bali?
He lives in Dubai.
Lives in Dubai.
Yeah.
He's 16.
Yeah.
And he wants a wife.
Shout, Arya. Yeah, this guy is smart. This guy's going to be a billionaire. This guy. Yeah, he wants to learn the game early, right? He doesn't want to make mistakes.
Smart kid.
Yeah.
Smart kid.
Parents too. Yeah.
Smart kid.
So shout out to you, Arya.
Yeah. I gotta meet him.
Yeah, you should. Guys in their 20s, some already got great relationships, others want to have great relationships. I found that obviously the hardest men to deal with, the guys who come to me are the ones between 35 and 45.
Because they're stuck in their ways.
Yeah, they and ah, and they're like, I want family. I like it. Well, yeah, do the program. And they're like, I'm like, you know what? Don't come to me with your and ahs. You know, like, I haven't really got time for that either. Like, I'm in my 40s. I've got a 7-year-old already. Like, if you haven't got no kids and you're and ahhing, like, who am I? Like, I'm not gonna sit there and you're and ahhing with you. You know, the reality is, you may not have a lot of time. You may think that you do, but the thing is, you also want to be young to enjoy your time with a beautiful woman, whilst your body is strong and fit. But also, it takes time to then get to know her before you have kids, right? Then it takes time to actually have kids, right? And then you want to be young and able and fit enough also to play with them, skiing, play football with them. And really, these things are also fun. Like, my fun I have with my boy is amazing. Like, when my boy was like 3, I split up with his mother, but I took him to Mykonos and the beach. That I took him to daytime parties with me, you know, and we did go-karting in a day. my boy, he likes caviar, he likes lobsters, he likes, if I take him to a nice, he'll order the best things on the menu, apart from the alcohol, he really loved to enjoy himself. And I love to see it. And for me, this is fun too. Singing, plays, sports, and being involved. This is fun. Sitting down, reading together, or watching a great movie. It's fun, really. It's not like we've got family now. It's a ball and chain thing.
Yeah, I get you.
When you have the right woman next to you,
Yeah.
and you can connect with her spiritually, and it's fun. It's fun.
Inshallah. In God's plan, in God's timing, inshallah it will happen.
Yeah, but it's
Right?
yeah.
I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also enjoying my time.
Yes, you're enjoying your time, but I would.
And by the way, I've been very good this year. I'm not. I was a womanizer last year, but we're in what, June, July? Yeah, we're in July now. This year I've been great. I've kept the numbers very low compared to last year and the year before. I'm just enjoying my time. I'm enjoying my life, traveling, doing podcasts with interesting brains like yours.
Of course.
Right. So yeah, it's not like, oh no, I need multiple women. No, it's not that at all.
The only thing is, like I said, is you have to just be careful of the sexual currency that you pick up from others too. Because like I said, the women who are open to just having casual relationships are very casual.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's scary. Yeah, when it's too easy, you're like, no. Yeah, I get you. I know.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate your time today. I'd like you to finish off this podcast with a message to everyone watching in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you're coming.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you got a message for them.
Well, obviously in Dubai, there's a lot of beautiful men and there's a lot of beautiful women, and some of you actually want to be together. If you're a man, you actually want that feminine energy. You want it in your home. You don't want it to be transactional. So with what I've got with my Primal Law courses and modules, I actually help men actually understand the real game, where you can actually meet the woman on the spiritual level and actually control the relationship as it's supposed to. God actually wants you to control and lead the relationship. And there's a way to do it that's existed for thousands of years. So that's basically what I teach. You're not supposed to be buying them a Hermes handbag on the first date. I'll tell you that. Yeah, forget that.
Yeah, they're ruining the game for everyone.
Huh?
They're ruining the game for everyone.
It's not even enjoyable for the woman either, to be honest.
Because then there's a notion of he expects something.
No, it's just that she actually understands that he's masking himself. You have to do that on the first date rather than actually showing who you really are. She understands that you're masking yourself. She's already going to feel disrespectful towards you. She's just going to keep asking for more and more because you don't know yourself, you see. So she can read a man better than he knows himself, you see. And so as a mirror, she'll just keep asking for more and more and more. She doesn't want to get to know you. She'll start, no, just give me more material. Give me more material because you're a fucking loser. You don't even love your own self. Give me more. Let me extract more from you. You see? And the man may think, okay, well, yeah, at least understand that, the game is transactional. But then he is not going to feel good about it because he understands that she doesn't really care about him. And we all want people to care. And God wants woman's supposed to care for man. It's not just transactional. It's not like, doesn't buy me this, I'm not going to love him. It doesn't work like that. A good man with good heart is supposed to have some substance. He's supposed to have some wealth anyway, But he's supposed to, if he's a man of character, good heart, good experience, there's a lot of things for the woman to love. You see, she's supposed to love the man for that. Everything else she's supposed to get anyway as a byproduct. But if she's loving all of those things first, that means that the man, he's not really loving himself fully. He's afraid to show who he is. He thinks he's supposed to be something else. And women will just expose that.
Amazing.
As a reflection. So what we do is we take men back to their own self to understand who they are, understand who their mother and father is, grandparents and great-grandparents, really stand on their bloodline, right? And that means even understanding the shadows, We've all got them. Now, no one's got a perfect alignment in their bloodline, right? But you have to love it all. And once you love it all, the woman's going to love you. And she'll just fall in alignment with you. So yeah, that's what we do.
Beautiful. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course.
I'll see you in Dubai.
Yes, mister.